What is going on, everybody? This is Ecos Blacks here, and we are here for TML F4 in the championship decider. And here you see the points here, and me, Ghost, Jelly all fighting for glory here in the final race. As you see here, with Ghost would need second and fastest lap, me not to get points and or finish first, and me finish 16th or lower, or 15th or lower with fastest lap if he wins. So yeah, as you see there on the screen though, there are only 14 showed up, so Ghost is gonna have to hope that I DNF. That's his only hope, because if I finish, regardless, I will be champion. And Jelly is actually not racing as he went to Spain, so that pretty much, like I said, makes a two-man fight. That's why he wasn't in the standing, or for him to win the championship. As you see, we went out on track, but on inters, and Ghost actually went fastest. He was actually really quick compared to everybody else, but he has not seen my pace yet, so it's going to be something. I don't really know his pace. He doesn't really know my pace, so it's shaking to be quite the fight. So as you see, we qualify ourselves to start last, as we're going to try and do it for the last to first. As you see though, Ghost had like a 16th gap on second, but now that went down to 1 point, or about almost a 10th and a half. So here we go for the final time this season. 5 lights, and they are out as we go for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and we get a good start. But the Alfa Romeo doesn't leave room, and then that gets me stuck to the Mercedes, and then the Haas hits me, and that could have been over. But there's a crash in turn 1, and we missed the crash luckily, and those were 2 incidents that could have cost us the championship if we did enough. Because Ghost, if I don't finish, all he has to do is either win or get fastest, or second place in fastest lap. Those are the 2 options he has. Because other than that, he won't get enough points to beat me. So if he gets second and no fastest lap or lower, nothing will work for him. So it's max points for second or first. And now you see here though, a lot of cars had damage on that first lap, and Krebs actually pit. And moving on here, you can see the gap to the Jazzu guy is starting to grow, and I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to push, but I did tell myself I'm not really going to push. You know, I'll just push on the straight to kind of get me into this DRS, and make sure I protect my DRS. As you see here, he is flashing, but I didn't get a good exit, but I wasn't going to pass him anyway, because I knew there's no way I was going to be able to hang on in the second sector. But I'm pretty sure after I passed him, I thought he had wing damage, because he did seem pretty understeered, but I wasn't quite sure. So you see here on the next lap, this is where I'm planning to pass him, obviously, if he goes out a little bit wide. And now going into the corner, we don't want to take too much curve, because that curve can auto spin us. So be careful of that curve. The second curve, not so much. We can abuse that curve a little bit more than the first one. And now going on to the back straight, we are absolutely, he's absolutely defenseless. And I can tell you right now, I did not even know what strategy Ghost was on. I was hoping that he was on a medium to hard strap, but you will see later. I already know what he's on, obviously, since I did the race, but at this moment I didn't know. And you can see Sidegate actually is on hard tires, but the leaders are way ahead. They are coming into the parabolic type corner of this track now, which used to be a chicane, and we are just basically now entering the straight, and they're coming in the tricky part of the track, and we were just now going to enter that parabolica. So yeah, we got a lot of time to make up, and I also have to repair a wing, so definitely not going to be a easy task for myself, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. So moving on, this is where I want to say I want to try and get by NSR Smith, Mitski, I think is how you say it, the Mitski. So here I'm not planning to do it because I just felt he could overtake me, so I just want to get as close as I can, use a wider entry. He actually went in very, very tight light, you know, very narrow, so that kind of compromises his chicane, and we're going to go by him, use the ERS, and now we're just going to try and set the best laps we can. So you see the gap to Jazzu is also growing, and that is going to be very important because as you see here, there's a Williams that's spun, and that triggers the safety car, which is what we needed. And here, I'm actually going to go into the pits, and you can see the gap to Jazzy is 3.5 seconds, 3.7, almost 4 seconds. It is 4 seconds now, and that may be enough to get me in front of him. It's going to be pretty tough, pretty knuck and tuck. So here we go. We're replacing the wings, and I'm trying to get the team to hurry up. And we go, and that's when he launches, and you can see we're ahead. But then as he pulls out, we get stopped. As you probably heard me say, yeah, wasn't too happy about that because I clearly was ahead, so I don't know why the game slowed me down. But it is what it is now. Luckily, he's on the hard tires, and I didn't really want to get stuck behind him. So, but that's all right. It's not really that big of a deal. So now, moving on, we are going to try and get by Jazzy into the hairpin. That is the plan. As we go through the two corners, we are a bit far behind, but as you're going to see, these cars are really close up on each other, so that's going to compromise them. And as you see there, nearly ran into the back. I actually didn't plan to do that. I was going to try and take a wider entry, but it actually turned into a dive bomb, and I got by. Now we're going to try and get by the Alfa Romeo here, and we do that, and now we're up to 6th place, and the leaders are just right there. Ghost is actually, I realized under the safety car that he actually went for the hard tires, so he's actually on a hard to medium strat. And the mediums are pretty nip and tuck. They're definitely not going to be in the best shape at the end of this race as we get by Great Elmo. But right now, I wasn't even focused on the win. I was saying if I had to give up the win, I totally would do that. I did want to get a podium, but I couldn't do it. As you see me make a mistake there, because I was actually planning to overtake Cygate this lap. But now, you're going to see we had to wait a whole lap later. So now, we are not going to use the ERS. Now we're going to kind of get a little bit closer. Make sure we get a little bit of forward momentum heading into the hairpin. As you see him, he goes wide, opens it up, and I really didn't even try to do that. I guess I just had so much speed going through there, it just kind of formed. But now we're going to get by Cygate. He doesn't slide it, as he was on the same shot as we were. But you see, Steve is on the mediums, but Atlas is on the hard, and he is actually holding up Steve, because Steve actually can't even get by. So I saw that as an opportunity. Okay, I'm definitely quicker than these two, but Ghost has absolutely checked out on those mids, and I knew I was probably going to need another safety car. But actually, you saw there was a car spinning, and that's actually Ghost that is spun around, and I believe he also got wing damage. So that completely changes the story for him. And then going out of, I think, turn 2, there's a car spinning, and that is Alfa Romeo, and that's a safety car. So things change again, and we're actually going to decide to pit and get off these worn mediums. And Cygate actually decided to stay out. I don't blame him. He doesn't want to race this season, but you're going to also see here, there's a certain car that's going to pop up now, and you can see Kiki. That is Ghost's teammate, and I wanted to be ahead of him. He's coming out the final. He's crossing the finish line now, and I want to get ahead, but there's no way we were going to get ahead. And I knew I was going to have to overtake him, and I did not want to go through that battle because I'm pretty sure something could happen, and you know, the nerves were not. The nerves were not up. I was pretty calm. I knew if I just did what I had to do, everything would be good. So now, coming on to start or restart the race, we're coming to 11 laps to go, and now,
okay, clear.
Excuse me, not really on the battery because there's really no point. As these guys are just going to check themselves up. You see me run a little bit wide there. I didn't really mean to do that. And I think at this point I only had one warning, if I'm not mistaken. Either no warnings or one warning. And going through into the hairpin, we're going to make the move on Steve. And he opens up the door pretty nicely. And now we're going to try and get Atlas. And you remember, these Ferraris were really a pain last race in Mexico. So this actually felt pretty good to get by him. I'm not going to lie. Just get him on straight line speed because my stupid stuff made a dumb decision. But now we're going down the inside of Kiki, and you can see there he is not planning on letting me go. But I hit the curb, and that actually missed me up in the chicane. But I don't think he really planned on leaving that much space anyway. He left a little bit, but definitely could have left a little bit more. But hey, that's racing. And now we're gonna have the run. He goes defensive. We go around the outside, and he actually ran into me. But luckily, everything was good, and we take the spot. And he actually spun out, as you see there, at the last corner. And now Ghost took the P5, and Ghost needs to stay tough with me because he has to do. The only thing he can do is hope that I get in the crossfire with these 2 cars or 3 cars ahead of me. Now 2, as we go by Yazoo again on his older hards, and now we're going onto the next hard lane. Elmo, who looks to be on the battery, but I believe, as you see here, he's actually keeping on the battery. He's actually staying on it. He doesn't defend, but he's not letting me by easily. And he turns in for the corner, but it compromises his exit for the next straight. And this is where we just absolutely fly by him. I think he's not even on the ERS here, so we get by. But you see, Steve is actually keeping up with me, and actually didn't want that to happen. I wanted to get away from him. And he actually is going to spin out of this corner. So that actually breaks the DRS from the guys behind. And Ghost is actually stuck behind a hard runner. So that's actually going to help me. And now I'm going to be in the DRS of Cygate. And we're going to get the DRS here. And you see me set a purple sector 1. And I thought I definitely need to get fastest lap because I never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. I could DNF, but Ghost also could have a problem with second place. And at this point, he probably would have fastest lap if it wasn't for me not being here. So, or someone probably could at the end for sauce. You never know, but you also don't know if someone will do that. So, I'm glad I took that fastest lap away from him because again, like I said, you never know. But we took the lead of the race, and now it's just about pacing ourselves, making sure we do what we need to do to win this race. And I was completely fine with, just cruising and doing what I needed to do. Going into corner, you see we are just building our gap to Cygate, and Ghost is actually going to get stuck behind Cygate as he's losing a lot of time to us. I think that spin really messed up his head because he's losing quite a bit of time here. But I'm also running quite a low downforce setup, so it could come back to him later. And you're going to see here, Cygate actually spins out. So now it's mono now. And you can see the gap is just starting to come down. But then we started to maintain a bit. And then going through here was a very, very scary moment. I actually lost the back of the car and I had to recorrect. And that right there, that almost made me think our race was over. But luckily, we're still in it. And now he's almost in the DRS. Now he's in the DRS, but I get a good exit. And then it comes back to Ghost. So now I got to use the battery. And you can see from the Delta, Ghost either has no battery or just isn't using it, and there's no way he wouldn't have used it right there. So he's definitely out of battery if I had to guess. And looking back at the stream, he was. So now I'm just taking it easy. I know if I just calm it down, I got the lead, and we're gonna stay on board for this final lap here to be trying to become TML's first American champion and TML F4 champion. As we are battling, we battled hard this season for our first championship. Made a lot of mistakes, and you can see there we just kept Ghost out of DRS, and now we're not even using the DRS or the ERS because we don't know if something could happen in the chicane, and we will be absolutely defenseless because he's still pretty close if we make a mistake to get DRS. But here we navigate through chicane pretty fine, and we do have a little bit of wheel spin getting up to the gears, getting back to the gas. I mean, but it seems like it's gonna be all well. And moving through a little parabolica through sector 3. I think now you can hear me starting to celebrate a bit, as now I know I pretty much have done it as long as I just get through these corners. It's not done yet, but it's looking pretty good. And going through the final 2 corners. Now the final corner, we are TML F4 champions. Let's go! We're the champions! Let's go! Come on! Let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Yes! Woo! This feels freaking good, man. Dang, it feels good. Oh. Yes, baby! Woo! Let's freaking go. Never would have thought it. Never would have thought it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that pretty much just
Really? I thought I was done for.
puts a nail in the coffin for a great season. And holy crap.
Oh my gosh. Is this the first time?
And honestly, it was kind of, it just felt really good. Because it wouldn't even been a championship battle if it wasn't for him reporting me at Singapore. So to beat him felt really, really good. It just felt awesome. Because I should have been clinched after Mexico, but stupid mistakes and getting reported after Singapore just really annoyed me. But we got the championship. That's all that matters. And for the first time, actually,
yes,
we are actually going to see our new podium celebration since the game has been fixed. I mean, it's alright at the start. I don't know why it does a twist, but it could be, it's decent, I guess. It's not the best, but it's decent. It works. So, as you also saw there, we did not win constructors, but we did win the drivers. Mercedes, unfortunately, were constructors champions, but congrats to them. It's been a season full of ups and downs, probably a lot more downs than ups, but somehow we still prevailed. And we win our first F1 championship. Absolutely cannot believe it. Cannot believe what we've done. And now it's starting the question of what now? Probably now it's trying to become a F1 driver on no assist. That's probably what I would say. That's the goal, and I'm looking forward to trying to complete that goal. So you never know.
Gosh,
this might happen.
Absolutely incredible. I would have never thought it.
So first off, congrats to Jelly Geezen, Atlas, Flygate, Congrats to teammate. I am Silas. Been a pleasure to race with you. Steve and Kiki as well. Maximum, everybody. In TML F4.
TML's a wrap.
Thanks to the commentators, the league owner, and TML for putting on a great series. And here it is, the confirmation of us being champion. So, for the final time in Season 8, TML F4, this is Ecos Blacks, the champion. See you guys later.